For centuries, thousands of pilgrims have set out to complete one of the most physically demanding religious circuits in the world. Checking every site off this traditional milestone means crossing the deep south of India and pushing all the way into the freezing altitudes of the Himalayas. This map shows the exact distribution of the 108 Divya Desams. 106 earthly locations dot the subcontinent, while 2 exist entirely in the celestial realm. Notice the extreme isolation along the northern edges. Temples in Uttar Pradesh, Gujarat, and Nepal sit hundreds of miles apart. Reaching the highest altitude outlier, Tiruchalagramam, forces you to navigate rugged mountain passes in Nepal where harsh weather routinely halts travel. Committing to the complete 108 circuit requires serious time and money. That sheer physical scale forces a traveler to prioritize logistical volume over deep reflection. The entire network is bound together by the Nalayayada Divya Prabandham, a massive collection of 4,000 ancient Tamil hymns. These verses were composed by the 12 Alvars, a group of revered Vaishnavite saints. Their specific adoration of the deities at these sites is the only thing that elevates a temple to Divya Desam status. Driving to a temple gives you the geography, but understanding why a specific site is holy requires actually sitting down and engaging with dense translated texts. This creates the central dilemma for the modern pilgrim. Attempting to hit high logistical volume, deeply appreciate the architecture, and study the theology in a single trip is nearly impossible. To successfully navigate the Divya Desams, you have to choose a specific optimization metric based on your constraints: logistical volume, architectural depth, or theological study. If you are a completionist driven to visit as many sites as possible, you want the cluster strategy. Your most efficient starting point is the Chola Natu region, using cities like Trichy or Kumbakonam as your home base. Looking at this zoomed-in map of Tamil Nadu, you see a staggering density. A pilgrim can systematically knock out 40 of the 108 total shrines in a very tight radius. Once you exhaust the south, your secondary target is the Malai Natu cluster in Kerala, which introduces a distinct shift in local culture and architecture. But the Kerala temples also introduce a new layer of complexity. They operate on the Kerala Tantram worship protocol, breaking the procedural uniformity you find in the Tamil Nadu sites. You also have to face a harsh logistical reality. Many of the smaller temples in these clusters are deeply underfunded. You have to plan hyper-local routes just to catch the limited windows when the doors are actually open. The cluster strategy gives you the highest completion rate, but it practically guarantees temple fatigue. The unique history of each smaller site will eventually blur together. If you are a cultural tourist short on time but looking for maximum architectural return on investment, you need the hub strategy. Your ultimate hub is Sri Rangam. Known in the tradition simply as Koil, it is the premier temple to dedicate multiple days of your trip toward. Sri Rangam commands a massive 156-acre footprint, protected by 7 concentric walls, and defined by 21 towering, multi-tiered gopurams. Anchoring yourself at a mega-hub like this allows for easy micro-navigation to deeply significant sub-hubs. You can take short trips to places like Urayur, the birthplace of the saint Tiruppan Aswar. Instead of rushing to the next town to take a box, deep immersion gives you the time to actually observe the intricate stone carvings and understand the spatial design of the complex. By choosing the hub strategy, you actively forfeit the milestone of visiting all 108 sites. You trade the breadth of travel for a detailed understanding of South Indian temple architecture. For those who want to grasp the soul of the pilgrimage but cannot physically travel, there is the scholar strategy. To understand what happens inside the temples, you have to read the Agamas. Specifically, the Pancharatra and Vaikhanasa texts dictate the strict methods of daily worship and the precise use of mantras. Studying the texts also reveals the historical schisms. You see the divergence between the Vadakalai tradition, which emphasizes the northern Sanskrit texts, and the Tenkalai tradition, which focuses on the southern Tamil hymns. Tracing the theology back far enough takes you to its mythological origin point in the celestial realm, where the physical temples we see today are believed to be earthly reflections of the divine. The scholar strategy requires intense upfront intellectual effort and provides the philosophical core of the network, but you completely miss the physical, sensory experience of standing inside the temple walls. This matrix breaks down exactly how to navigate your options. On the horizontal axis, we map your available time. On the vertical axis, we map your primary goal. If you have high architectural interest but low time, you are the cultural tourist. You deploy the hub strategy and focus exclusively on mega-complexes like Sri Rangam. If you have high devotion and a lot of available time, you are the devout practitioner. You deploy the cluster strategy and start maximizing your temple count in Cholanatu. If you have high interest in theology but zero travel capability, you become the armchair scholar, accessing the network through its defining texts. Aligning your actual constraints with the right strategy prevents you from exhausting your resources on the wrong type of journey. For a Hindu pilgrim, the pinnacle of worship is darshan. It is the simple, profound act of standing in the presence of the deity to see and be seen. Some travelers will push themselves to their absolute physical limits, climbing into extreme high-altitude mountain ranges just to achieve this singular moment of connection. Whether you spend a week exploring a single mega-hub or spend years tracking down all 106 earthly shrines, the value of the trip is defined entirely by your intention. The 108 Divya Desams function as a flexible, 1,000-year-old blueprint, allowing each pilgrim to navigate devotion on their own terms.